I'm proud, I'm strong. I am a Grenadian. Yes, man. Grenada, Grenada, the land where I was born. I know you were suffering. Men have raped you and abused you and left you there crying. I devote my heart, my body and my soul. I stretch forth my helping hand to help you out. I haven't got diamond, silver, nor even gold, but blessings I give to its west, north and south. Oh, Grenada, Grenada, here I come, sweet, sweet Grenada. I will never, ever, ever let you down. Oh no, I'll always be your support, right here by your side. With my arms around you to wipe your weeping eye. Oh yeah. Dun, dun. It's quite a long time now since you have fallen back to the last rung of the ladder.
And good morning to Grenada, Carriacou, Petty Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
I'm Devon Romain.
And it is Hard Talk on a rainy, sunny, rainy Wednesday. Yeah, it's a beautiful Wednesday on the Isle of Spice. Giving thanks to the Almighty for being around today. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Yeah.
Cause in times to come is the bread they might have to eat. Listen, let we go. Oh, Grenada, Grenada, here I come. Sweet, sweet.
Yeah, we live on the most beautiful. Or for those of you outside of Grenada, you come from the most beautiful. Or for those of you who are not Grenadians but always tune into Hard Talk, you either come to or visit the most beautiful. A country that exists anywhere. We don't just say the world in a way, yeah, universal. Galaxial? Or does it Galaxial? Yeah, probably something like that, yeah. And we're live on 97.5 City Sound FM.
89.5 CRFM.
92.9, yes, Sister Isles out there on the Isles of Carriacou and Petty Martinique.
And 94.9 We Vibes Radio in Brooklyn, New York.
Yes, indeed. Good morning to those of you on the live. Remember to like and share the live. Like and share the live. Yeah, like it and share it. Yeah, see, like I just did. Like it and share it. Like and share the live. All right, nice, beautiful.
Listen, it's time that we take a stand to defend your position.
All of a sudden, some people get holy, and they set up prayer and all kind of thing they're putting up here.
Just come to take a bite.
Dali, good morning, Dali. My good friend Dali up there in St. Andrew.
To the world.
Dali said yesterday when the place started to shake, one of the girls by her started to say, "Oh Jesus." She said, No. Go to what you were saying for the last week. Jab on your tombstone. Stay with your jab on your tombstone. Leave Jesus alone.
Get in your section.
Yeah, get in your section. Hold on to something. Hold on to something.
Tight and all. You find all the section yesterday though.
Yeah, all you want to blame Boise and hold on to something.
Oh,
folks, I don't think we realize just how lucky we are. Huh? Grenada has been extremely lucky. Huh? You want to know how lucky we've been? Yeah, Trinidad. Yeah, we realize you all get kind of lick up one or two places and things. But you all pretty okay, man. You all get away too. Yeah. You're not hearing any debts and that kind of thing. So we have to be thankful. Because just 8 years ago, January 2010, in Haiti, You had an earthquake that measured 7 on the Richter scale, and you had tens of thousands of dead people. Tens of thousands of people died in Haiti with an earthquake, the same, well, not the same strength, weaker than the one that hit us and Trinidad and Venezuela yesterday. We have to be extremely thankful, yeah? I'll always be your support, right? Nadira, good morning to you. I hope you're having a wonderful day, my old schoolmate. Well, I can't call you old enough. All are we young still? Neil, my next brother, good morning to you, bro. Don't worry, a little brother, okay, man. 1 or 2 cracks on the place. That's about it. Only 1 or 2 cracks I see. I ain't really seen nothing. Yeah, the place started to shake, and man,
that was a good let's say, what, 90 minutes approximately of, I don't know what you're talking
about. I only felt that earthquake for about over about close to 2 minutes or so. Yeah, close to about 2 minutes. I don't know what you feel about 90 minutes.
No, 90 seconds.
90 seconds, you mean? Okay.
90 seconds, not minutes.
Yeah, well, you say minutes, eh? Me?
90 seconds.
Yeah, man.
But one of the things too that well, I guess is ongoing education, and so is we gotta educate persons much more about what you do in case of earthquakes or tremor, and so that magnitude, because a lot of people I viewed and so left the house and ran outside.
Wrong thing to do.
Wrong thing to do. You drop, you cover, and you hold, meaning you closest place you get down on the ground, you cover yourself either under a table or some way of a place that in your view that is safe, and and you hold. That's the most you can do based on where you are. Don't leave your house and run outside. You don't know what you getting outside, what you meeting outside there. And so I think the education process has to be a continuous one, when it comes to these types of events.
Well,
and so.
NADMA has said that they'll be in with us on a bi-weekly basis starting next week. And outside of preparations for hurricane, we're coming up on the anniversary of Hurricane Ivan and also on the anniversary of Hurricane Janet. Outside of that, it's important for us to know about things like earthquakes and tsunamis and so on. Yesterday, you had a lot of people afraid that there would have been a tsunami and so, but with the depth that earthquake, I mean, when people feel earthquake, they ain't thinking about depth and this kind of thing. But Mahabia, you was just mentioning it there. The Haitian earthquake was closer to the surface than the one that we experienced yesterday. The one yesterday was deeper in the earth. The Haitian one was closer to the surface, which is why it caused so much more damage as well. But remember, we had a 7.4. And we can't say that we had any major damage to private or public facilities or that kind of thing. I think one busman, I think he got his windscreen broken from some falling debris, and 1 or 2 people may have had little minor damages and that sort of thing. But we came out of it generally unscathed. And yes, we had an aftershock. A little while ago, we had an aftershock. Let me just give you the exact information on that. I was on the road. I didn't feel it. No, I didn't get that one. Yeah. Doesn't matter to me anyway. As long as it don't do no damage, it could pass, it could do pass. As long as it don't do any damage, I good. That one was a 5.9. Yeah, so that one was of magnitude 5.9, and it occurred close to Maturin and Carapano and Polamar in Venezuela. So it was close to those cities in Venezuela. And it extended outwards. So we got a bit of it here, measuring 5.9 on the Richter scale. All right, so that took place at approximately 9:27 a.m. local time. All right, so we've had, and folks, there will be more. Yeah, there will be more aftershocks over the next couple days and even weeks. Accordingly, as the earth settles itself in whichever position, expect a few more. You will get it. All right, so don't wonder if the earth is going to come to an end. There have been earthquakes before the slaves were even brought to the Caribbean. There were earthquakes taking place here. There were earthquakes in the past taking place, and there'll be earthquakes in the future. So it's not the end of the world. I see some people, what's the end of the world? Floods, earthquakes, all kind of thing. No, floods and earthquakes been happening since before the Caribs.
I think one of the things to do, Grenadians on a whole have no experience in what it is to sort of feel, thing of a 7.4.
I don't think anybody around really knows what a 7-pointer felt like.
No, never. We've never,
Yeah, a little 4-pointer here and there, maybe a 3.
Might be a 5.
A 5.
Yeah. But
the odd 6, odd 6 once in a blue moon, yeah. So.
But I mean,
a 7?
Sheldon, I was standing in my house, man, and everybody was, who went under the table and everything, protect, and I was standing right beneath the door frame itself, and that's the closest place I could have, get
This
to.
is one of the safer places to be if you're inside of a building. The door frame under a table, and so because if you run out of the building, you run the risk of debris falling on you.
Oh, yeah.
And you also run the risk of electric lines falling on you, lampposts falling on you, and so on. The safer places, and a lot of people say, Shubin, you're talking. No, the safer place to be is in the building.
It's in the building.
Yeah, it's actually in a building, right?
Secure yourself within the building, underneath a table, and so underneath the door frame itself. Find yourself where, if debris is falling, you most likely would not get hurt, and so. But to run out of your building just like that, no.
That's a no-no.
That's a no-no.
That's a no-no. Yeah, and they've also had roughly about 9 aftershocks. About 9 aftershocks so far. Between Trinidad and Venezuela. They've been about 9. We felt the one that is 5.9, but there have been some others. When you have a major earthquake, when you have an earthquake at this level, you usually have several aftershocks that sometimes last hours, sometimes they last days, sometimes they can go as much as weeks. Yeah? So you expect that you would be feeling the earth under your feet shaking again. You got it this morning, right? And you will get a few more, all right? Just know that what you're supposed to do in the case of an earthquake, all right? Yeah.
And based on most of the buildings that we have in Grenada houses, and so, I think we build them a bit, stronger, and so build back better since after Ivan. So that would have helped aid in terms of some of the damage we might have got. But hey, it is something that you do not get any warning for. Just remember that. An earthquake, so you don't get warning for that. Okay. It happens.
Yeah, my brother is telling me he lost 1 or 2 things yesterday, but he was pretty okay. You're alive. That's the main thing. Thing could always buy back, thing could make back, or thing you could keep in your memory. But when you gone is a different case. Yeah, so once you and the kids, the wife okay, nice. We good to go there. All right? Yeah, man. Things, material things could always come back.
Yeah, that could always. The dogs, man. I watched some dogs in the area. The dogs and all were out there making noise.
Yeah, well, that happens. Dogs usually pick it up even before it starts. Animals, animals sense it. So we know that, and we've heard a lot of the experiences. We've heard a lot of people with their experiences yesterday. I'm going to go into details in that, right? Earthquake come, who scream, who cry, who run outside, thing, right? We know that happened. Nice, okay, Popo. We know that, so no need to go into the long kind of thing with that one today. All right, but just to let you all know that one. There will be, we ain't asking, there will be more aftershocks. Some of them you might feel, some of them you mightn't feel. Some of them might be of so low intensity you don't really even realize that they pass by. Others you may feel, like the one that passed by at 9:27 at 5.9, you felt. All right, but there will be some more aftershocks, so expect that. All right, a good thing for homeowners to do and for business owners to do would be to do a proper recce of your building. Go around your building, see where there are cracks, see where there have been damages. And so some of you need to be speaking to your insurance companies too, and you better do it fast. So you go around, pour them insurance company under all with flood and earthquake, all kind of thing. Yeah, so you need to go around.
That's what they're there for.
Yeah, well, that's what you're paying it for. Yeah. So make a walk around your property and look for cracks. There may be some small ones that you don't really notice that could open up over time, especially when the dry season comes. Sometimes these small cracks that were formed yesterday, you'll be surprised to see the size that they get. All right, so you need to go around your property, make a little walk around, check and see for cracks and little things like that, things that may have shifted and those sort of things. Make a little part. You should have done it since yesterday, right after the earthquake. But it's important. People who are renting apartments and so to others, it's a good time to make a recce of that apartment as well. You go around, tiles may have come loose, there may be cracks in the walls or the ceiling and that sort of thing. So you need to make a little walk through and check all of the properties that are under your management to make sure everything is okay. If you own a business, or even if you're renting a business place, you need to do the same thing. Go around and see, because it could come back to bite you later on. So it's better you see it now, and if you have to do whatever insurance purposes, you check your insurance company, but do it now. All right, nice. We open the phone line, Seven.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 440-7377
and 347-329-3101. Give us a call. Okay.
And we'd also like you to know that the fogging team. Yeah, some people say like the earthquake raise them, mosquito and them. Yeah, they come out the crab hole and thing, they out. Yeah. So the fogging team, they'll be around. Yeah, these things actually affect animals differently. Yeah. The fogging team will be around and out today in Happy Hill and environs, including Brizan, by the preschool and environs. What they're trying to do, they're trying to focus a lot on the areas where they have back to school, where they have schools and so on. So the area, the Happy Hill Secondary School, the Uganda Matters School and so on, and then going up to Brizan in the area, the preschool and environs. They're trying to focus on these areas a lot. Remember, the children have to go back there in less than 2 weeks. So they're going to focus there. They'll be there from 5 p.m. Right now, the teams would be out in those areas doing some education, letting people know that we're coming around to do fogging later. So those of you in the environs around the Happy Hill Secondary School, the Uganda Matters School, and the preschool in Brizan, know that the fogging teams, not just on the compounds there, but they'll be in those areas doing some fogging during the afternoon, this afternoon from 5 p.m. All right. Tomorrow, they'll be in the town of St. George. They're going to be fogging up the place. So they'll be passing through the town of St. George tomorrow in general. And on Friday, they're heading to Mount Moritz, including Grand Mall, the preschools, and the environment. So as I said, they're trying to do a lot of the school areas. Yesterday, they should have been at Boca Secondary, Vendome RC, and the Constantine Methodist environs doing some fogging. And so they're doing it strategically because they don't want children go to school. I remember it's day biting mosquito. Yeah. So they don't want children go to school and mosquito biting them up and all kind of thing. And next thing you hear some kind of thing like chick V or some kind of thing pass again.
Yeah, but can't afford for that right now.
Yeah, good morning to my good cousin Felix. I hope you're having a wonderful day today, don't worry. We're okay down here, man. We're okay. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of WhatsApp messages, calls from friends in the US and Jamaica and the UK and Canada and the rest of the Caribbean, the Northern Caribbean, and so they've been messaging to find out if everybody's okay down here. The damage assessment will be done because usually after these sort of events, you do a damage assessment. So you'd have the team that goes through areas like, for instance, the Kirani James Athletic and Football Stadium to assess if any damages have taken place, the cricket stadium, the government facility like the ministerial complex, the financial complex, the Ministry of Education building. They'll be going through and assessing if any damages have been done and so on. So those assessments, if you see groups of people passing around, walking with little thing, making notes and taking photos, and so that's generally what's being done. All right. They'll also do assessment of other infrastructure around to make sure everything is okay. All right. Nice. Beautiful. 440-7377. That's 440-7377.
347-329-3101.
Yeah. So, folks, remember the fogging schedule. They'll be out in Happy Hill and environs, Brizan and environs today, because you have things like dengue fever, Zika, yellow fever, chikungunya. You have to make sure and take care of those. And actually, scarlet fever is coming back too. Scarlet fever is a thing I ain't about for decades. I mean, I ain't been around for so long, but I ain't about scarlet fever for decades, man.
I've not heard of that name for, man. You say decades, didn't you? I've not heard that name.
Yeah, so I haven't heard about that one for a long time, but that one is around. I was hoping to throw up something today, but technical man ain't show up. Man ain't show up. I wanted to throw up something today, you understand?
Missing in action.
Yeah, technical man is missing in action. Yeah, we have work to do, What do you feel it is? Nice.
I saw a photo after the tremor, the earth tremor, and so of the boiling spring in River Sally.
Yeah, would have liked to be able to show that up
Yeah.
on the live, but again.
Yeah, we can't.
Mhm.
Nice experience to see the bubbling and the. I mean, it's.
But it would bubble because the boiling spring would be in an area that has some sort of volcanic activity.
Yeah.
With the earth shaking, it would release gas, additional gas. And actually, it wasn't too much a smart thing they was doing hanging around there.
No, at all.
Because the gas, in some instances,
It's
could kill you
poisonous.
within seconds. So it wasn't too much
Poisonous,
a smart thing running there with a phone and saying,
Yeah,
look at
and
bubbling there, bubbling there, bubbling there,
Yeah.
bubbling there.
And they right over it, doing that thing.
Yeah.
It's,
There was an instance in Africa, I believe it's in the Congo, many years ago, where there was an entire village that was wiped out by the gas that was released in a lake. So they had this little earthquake, tremor, and the gas was released through the lake. But the gas that was released, it killed everybody in the village that was close by. So you have to be careful with those things. It's some of the things we take it for jokes, some of the things we take it and we say, okay, this is fun, or we've never seen that, and you run to do it, and it can cost you your life. So it's not really, you don't know what type of gas, if it's the normal gas that's coming out, or if it has fractured to the point of bigger fissure, what do you call it? Yeah. And so you have real gas, dangerous gas coming out there. So you have to be careful with these things. You have to be careful with them. It's like some individuals who were killed during the tsunami in 2004. The reason they were killed is that they saw the seawater recede. They saw the seawater draw out and go, and like mud flats, and they went picking up fish. And those days wasn't a set of cell phone yet. It had cell phone, but people wasn't into the selfie craze now to go and take out picture and thing. And they went there, and the water came back with a force and killed thousands upon thousands. I think it was close to 250,000 people ended up dying in that whole thing. So you have to be very careful with that. Yeah, you have to be careful. You have to be very careful with that. So folks, it goes to show as well though that in many of the business places there needs to be a proper evacuation plan. Yeah, that showed that a lot of you businesses out there do not have a proper evacuation plan. You must have a proper evacuation plan of how you and your staff exit your building in the quickest and safest manner if you have to exit the building, because in some cases it is safer to stay in the building. But if you do have to exit, how do they do? Do they try to shut down the computer? You know, earthquake and about. Let me shut down the computer.
Let me turn off the fridge.
Let me grab my bag. Let me take my lunch out of the fridge and then head outside. No. Leave everything and go if you have to go.
And go. 1 second is I mean, that's between life and death.
Yeah, so you have to, there needs to be a proper evacuation plan. I know, for instance, that at my time at the ministerial complex, there was one. We had floor captains, and each block had a captain, and then you had a person that was in charge for the left-hand side and the right-hand side, and individual people there. So that you knew this is the person that was in charge, and so on, this is the second, and so that when anything happens, you evacuate the building immediately. You hear the alarm sound off, you evacuate the building. You knew what to do during those situations. But again, we have to be very thankful that one, if that earthquake had occurred, and we're using a hypothetical situation here, if it had occurred closer to the surface, we may not have been speaking to you in the way that we're speaking to you today. May not have been able to speak to you for a few months, to be quite honest. Yeah, if it had occurred closer to the surface, similar to the one in Haiti, which was a 7-pointer, we had a 7.4. Nobody died. Thank God. Yeah. If we had it a little closer to the surface, we'd have been having a totally different conversation here today.
Yeah, to the surface and at night.
Yeah, especially, well, not even at night, you know. In the daytime, with a lot of people in places like business places being fully occupied, it would have been just as bad. Yeah, but at that point in time, you had a lot of people on the road going home. After 5, a lot of people going home, coming, going what they had to do, and so. So, yeah, there needs to be a proper evacuation plan, a proper emergency plan, because we've spoken about that before on this program, about things that you need in case of a hurricane. We've not taken the time really to go over what people need for earthquakes and other things. And I think I'm going to leave it to the experts. I don't want to be the ones, I'm not an expert in relation to those things. I'm going to leave it to the experts. I'm going to allow people like Devon and Nemu Nadma and Nadma to come and speak on those things. I believe that's the best way to go.
Yeah, it's better when you get the official. Yeah, I'm with Nagma, but it's better when you have the voice of the persons who supposed to be telling you that and everything like. Because even yesterday, just looking at social media, you saw so many things that was not right for people to be posting. Right? Oh, Grenada under tsunami, what? Grenada under this, and it will happen in Trinidad at 6 o'clock, and Grenada at so and so time. Just, scaring people out there. We need not to do that. Right?
I don't like to use that trump card. I think we had to find another word instead of trump card. Since Trump and
Trump in real trouble.
Yeah, so instead of using that, but anyway, we had to find another word to use instead of that. But you can actually be charged for causing public disorder for making those sort of posts. Yeah, the police can come and arrest you because you have caused a state of public disorder.
Incitement.
Because you would have caused a set of people to be afraid and create public disorder. So you have to be careful what it is you post. Yeah? I always try to be responsible with whatever I post. I just make more joke and them kind of thing. Yeah, I just make loads of joke. Anybody that's on my Facebook profile know me. I'm a jovial individual and I like to make jokes and so on. But it has certain things I'm reposting because I up to 2 days ago I was having that conversation with a friend of mine. Close to 85%, or you could even say 90% of what you see on Facebook passing in your timeline is fake. Yeah, I'm telling you. And I can prove what I'm saying. 90% of what you see in your timeline on Facebook on a daily basis is fake. People post all sorts of nonsense. I've seen someone, for instance, this morning posting a video. Yeah. I've seen somebody posting this morning a photo of a building collapsing and saying that's in Venezuela. I've seen that video since 2016 or somewhere there. That video has been around. But because somebody sent it to them, they just take it and they post it and they believe it's okay to post that. No. You're helping this idiot that started this nonsense who knew for a fact that because somebody would have had to have that video from beforehand to start sharing it. So some idiot looking for fame decided that they're going to take a video of a house collapsing somewhere in South America. I can't remember the country exactly. Decided that they're going to post that video and say that's Grenada. It's the same thing that happened a few years ago when we had Kikum Jenny started to act up. We had people in Grenada here who were posting photos of some place in Fiji or somewhere where there was some volcanic eruption and you had all this lava and smoke over the water and so on, saying that's Kikum Jenny in Grenada. Scaring people outside of Grenada. Because you know something, the moment something happens here, all our family in New York, Brooklyn, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, be they out in Albuquerque, New Mexico, wherever they are, these people got very, very, very afraid. They get very, very afraid. Because they start to think, oh gosh, I wonder if mommy okay. Oh gosh, I wonder if my children, because sometimes they're out there and their children are here. Or sometimes it's the children that out there and start to worry about their parents and they can't study. If they're in university, they can't study because they're worried about home. And you, the irresponsible people who post these things on Facebook, are responsible for causing that. You're responsible. That's why it's important for you all to be very careful of what you share via social media. You're going to cause somebody to have a heart attack one of these days. We had the problem with Kikum Jenny. I tell you, and people started to posting. One of the stuff was from New Zealand. from a volcanic eruption in New Zealand of the water, and people, I personally called a newspaper in Trinidad because the newspaper in Trinidad reproduced something that they got from a Grenadian here. And I had to tell, was it Trinidad Guardian? I called the Trinidad Guardian and spoke to the reporter. I said, no, it's nothing like that. They had, at that point in time, they had that we evacuate Grenville, we evacuate Town, we evacuate Grenville, we evacuate St. Patrick, and all this other nonsense they were saying. And that came out in the newspapers in Trinidad. And you know how much Trinidadian family Grenadians have. So it started to scare people down there. And they were wondering, well, what's going on? What's going on in Grenada? I had to phone the people and ask them to please clarify the story that none of this happened. None of that. The government never issued no evacuation order. Nothing like that. They think this happens every now and again. It's at this level. This is what it hasn't even broken the surface. And yesterday we had people start now with this thing about tsunami. Yes, there was a report by certain agencies that there would have been, because it's automatic, that once you have a earthquake of a specific magnitude, around bodies of water, that you trigger a tsunami warning. But Grenada wasn't under a tsunami warning for any long period of time. Yeah? So we have to be careful about what we share.
And you see, and I'll keep reiterating that official news, official response to these disasters or things, always, the official response always would come from NAGMA, right? NAGMA is the one that will inform you. They are the ones right there trying to gather as much information from the different sources, right, that is credible to give to the Grenadian people, right? We cannot having people just continue on social, media, posting all sorts of things that is not relevant to Grenada. It is dangerous, right? And we need to understand that. It is a dangerous practice, right? And eventually we may put people in this country, right, in problems, serious problems, if we continue to do that. Remember, NAGMA is the one that you listen to get your official source, right, official stories.
Because it started now that you're starting to see some, because you have to be so careful. Some of the videos that you're seeing now are not videos from Trinidad this year. Some of the videos are videos from other countries from years ago. But some people just looking for fame, and they're trying to get likes, and they're trying to get people to come to the page, so they just start sharing everything.
They want to be the first to put out something, all right? But put out credible information, truthful information, not information that would scare people and create panic and so among them and put them in danger. We don't need to do that. All right, we need to listen, we need to pay attention, we need to disseminate correct information from credible sources.
Yeah, and folks, as a general rule, outside of just taking anything from Facebook, always double check the information that you have, because it could cause undue panic to yourself and to others. You can cause undue panic. There were people who had asthma attack yesterday, panic attack, all kind of thing. People started getting headaches. All sort of things started happening yesterday. Yeah, and one of the worst things you can do is during a disaster, one of the worst things you can do during an emergency, during an event, is panic. Yeah. Anytime you panic, you increase your chances of getting damaged or getting killed. Don't panic. Anytime you go that direction, that is what you're doing. You're causing yourself undue stress. Yeah, and you would make mistakes. Where if you kept calm and try to work through. That's why we're telling you now that, number one, expect aftershocks. There will be more aftershocks. You had one at 9:27, 5.9 on the Richter scale, occurring just outside between those three cities in Venezuela that I mentioned earlier. I'll look for it again in a while for you. So you've had that one. You may have another one today. You may not have another one today. You may have it tomorrow. You may have it next week. Sometimes, as we said, they last hours. Sometimes they last days. Sometimes they last weeks that you get aftershocks. All right? So you have to just be very careful. Understand that this will happen. But also understand that in your family, at home, you need a procedure for when something like this happens. What do you do? You just tell the children, everybody run for the door. And then you run for the door and something collapses outside and that was the end of you all. Or do you tell them, head for under the bed? Or do you tell them, head for under the table, the dining table, or so on, or a firm chair, or whatever it is? Yeah? Up against a corner or something like that, and you hold on. You have to have and there are loads of these things online as well, you know. On YouTube, yeah. Instead of watching the African movies on YouTube, go and watch How to Save Your Life in case of situations like this. Then you wouldn't be running outside when you hear these things happening.
Help prepare you and your family, you know, instead of...
No, what is about these African movies? Just don't catch it. A lot of them watching these African movies. Folks, you can call in 440-7377. Yeah, let's just call in.
For the wrong reasons, they into it.
Yeah, 440-7377. You can give us a call and let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods. Yeah, so give us a call and let us know what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, any information that, you know, you might have out there you want to share, something that may happen out of the ordinary after yesterday that you want to share, you know, feel free to share. But remember, we want credible and truthful information, right? Because there are persons out there listening and so on, and we want to make sure that we disseminate, right, information that persons can learn from and everything like that, okay?
Yeah, so the CCJ Advisory Committee, though, just to switch gears slightly, the CCJ Advisory Committee, they're informing the general public. There'll be a meeting at the Grenada Trade Center next week, Wednesday. So 1 week from today at 6 p.m. And the theme of the conference will be Break the Chains of Colonialism for a United Caribbean. And discussing the issue of the CCJ. We're going to the referendum in a while on the CCJ. And so the feature speaker will be, make a guess, not one.
Feature speaker.
Yeah. We're speaking about the CCJ, and it's going to be at the Grenada Trade Center next week, Wednesday. I don't know if it's local or regional or international. Yeah. But next week, Wednesday. And it's going to be at 6 p.m.
Well, there are a number of persons who are basically
let's take the call and we'll come back to that.
Good morning and welcome.
Hey, morning, my brothers.
Hey, morning
to you, bro.
All things.
Well, we see you survive. That's good.
Yes. I survived. I just want to, you know, say we are blessed in Grenada, you see. Mm-hmm. And while we are blessed, we still want to be sympathetic to the other islands or country also who would have been devastated by the earthquake.
Oh, you reach a hurricane already, man? Time for that to reach it.
Yesterday, I was saying to somebody yesterday, while we're still in the early days of the hurricane season, but what we see now is flooding and things like earthquakes, you know. And so, not to say that we would probably not to say that we wouldn't see some form of hurricane forming, but in the early days we've seen, you know, things have been changing in terms of the environment wise, and how we look at it, and then we remember that this thing is so real, you know, and we just have to be prepared. But one of the good aspects of yesterday is that I recognize that a lot of people take heed in terms of what you should do when there is an earthquake, and I've seen it. I was on campus yesterday at SGU, and so everybody, and even hearing it from other people around the island, everybody ran out in open spaces. You know, I've heard who leave their clothes inside, heard out naked, and all this, you know, all these crazy stories. But it shows that people are aware and listening to what to do when there is an earthquake.
I don't believe so. I think you're totally wrong. You're not supposed to run outside.
Well, you either hide under a desk, but if that house crumbles, you know, I don't think there is no safe area, but I mean, the safest thing to do is that get yourself out from buildings that may crumble, or, you know.
No, it's not. You're giving wrong information. Leave it to the experts.
No, I say I believe. I just say.
Yeah, that's why we're gonna get the experts to tell people what's the right thing to do. Running out of the house without your clothes is not the right thing to do.
And some people do that yesterday. You know?
And a lot of people do that yesterday.
Everything else you could buy tomorrow.
I mean,
everything else you could purchase another day.
For me personally, I did not leave the building. I did not leave the building I was in.
You didn't?
Because I would have run the risk of power lines and so hitting me, of a pole falling across and hitting me or so, or debris from the house that I was in falling and hitting me. But it was safer for me to remain in the building.
Yeah, but you know, the reality is, in those instances, and while they might tell you go under a desk and so on and so on, there is no safe position.
But when you had to go, you had to go.
That's my own personal belief. Forget what the expert says, because I've seen some building crush yesterday, crumbled, in other island country, Venezuela and so forth and so on. And if you would stay inside there, probably would have been killed also. So, I mean, it's a precautionary measure. But my personal belief, I'm just speaking for my own personal belief, that this thing, there's no safe position.
No, it's no such thing. When you had to go, you had to go, you know.
But
and that's my belief.
You see, and if you outside, like in a plain field, open space, and so you don't need to basically try to run into a house. And so if you're outside, you get caught outside. So you basically thing. But once you're in a house and you find, in my view, a safe place, like for example in Grenada, we don't have much 3-story, 4-story buildings, and so right. We have basically 1-2 floors, and so it's much safer, right? And so in the building, when you drop, you cover and you hold.
You hold.
Yeah.
You do that, Devon?
Of course. I mean, I secure. I was at home with my family. they drop and covered.
We were spelling in. I mean, some people take it lightly. I said it will make fun. It's in fun of Nadman, so on. And I tell people, look, we have to take this thing seriously.
Nadma to do with this.
And we, Nadma is there to provide sufficient information for to respect that. People, everything is politics. And I cannot. Well, Sheldon, you'd have probably read some of them, and
Mm-hmm.
But I think some things that we just have to understand and thank God that it wasn't worse, and stop blaming and throwing blame here. And we know some of them are political motives, but anyway. At the end of the day, we have to look out for all Grenadians.
The time they're taking to do that, they should have been on their knees thanking God that we didn't end up like Haiti.
It's true.
That's what some of them should be doing. Thanking God we did not end up as what happened in Haiti just 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years and 6-7 months ago, yeah. They should be thanking God that we didn't end up so.
And Haiti had it, ours were a bit stronger than Haiti.
Yeah,
it was?
Definitely.
Yeah, and how much thousands of people died. And
there are several factors.
In Grenada, the Caribbean here, down here, I haven't heard of any loss of life yet. Mm-hmm. But so far, we have taken, we're good, so we have to be thankful for that. I mean, people are forgetting a little blessing and complain too much, Well, hey, guys, just touching in.
All right, my brother. One love.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. 4407377. I'm going to let the experts tell us what's the right thing to do. We ain't going to think we know for ourselves.
Yeah.
That is one thing with us. We ain't going to think we know for ourselves.
And that's why we don't share as much as we want to. We won't share information that you can have doubts about it, and so
we have another call.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Sheldon. Good morning, Evan.
Good morning, my friend.
Morning. Good.
Okay. Well, Sheldon, I want to give thanks and praise for a magnitude earthquake of 7.4. Occurred yesterday, and we got no major incident. All right. I want to thank God for that. And Devon and Sheldon, I want to say something. You see, we could prepare for hurricane. Right? Hurricane, you have a warning, you have a watch. But an earthquake, you give no warning. Right? We cannot prepare people for an earthquake. So what we could do is give them advice in case of an earthquake, what they need to do. And I want to say to Grenada people, there's one source of information you should listen to, and that's NAGMA. Right? NAGMA is the source of information for any earthquake, disaster, any form of disaster. NAGMA is the source to listen to. And many times, when things happen and people get giving false information, they bring panic, they bring fear to people. Right? And brother, I want people, we the greater people, to let us listen to the real source. Right? And don't listen to what people say. People who have no knowledge of what to do or what not to do. Right? NAGMA is the source of information. Let us listen to it. Right? Because when you give out the wrong information, that's like a next, something else could happen where people get trapped. But NAGMA will give you the right information to save people's life. Right? I want to say to the Grenadian people, we got thanks and praise for a magnitude of that earthquake happened and nothing happened. I began when I sat in my living room, I said, my God, the house had to shake. I was thinking about the people that live in tall buildings. Right? This is one of the why the building crumble. Right? Why I want to say to the country that got it, right? A region that they recovered and speedily. Right? Because we are all our brothers keepers. Right? And we have to care about one another. So brother Sheldon and Devon, you all have a wonderful day. God bless you all.
All right, thank you.
Friend. Thank you.
And folks, we have to remember, Grenada has a history when it comes to earthquakes too. Remember the first capital of Grenada, which was in the Lagoon Road or Karani James Boulevard area, right in front of Tropicana there. Right, the first capital city of Grenada was built there. And an earthquake took it and kind of sent it under the ground.
Sunk.
Yeah, it was sunk. So it went under the ground.
So we have a city underneath.
Yeah, somewhere underneath. They have Atlantis somewhere underneath.
Yeah, somewhere around
yeah,
there.
so there is a history of earthquakes. The Caribs and Arawak and them, you feel they never used to get earthquake. They did not no big building to fall. The place maybe used to shake up a 2 tree or 2 coconut fall and knock out 1 or 2 of them. But that was about it. But now we have buildings and all these sort of things. So we have to be just very careful with the entire thing. And again, with the sharing of information, not because you get it, you just don't verify it and you send it out. Usually if I send something to you by WhatsApp, or if I send something to you by Facebook or post it to Facebook, you could bet your bottom dollar I check to make sure the veracity of that before I send it out. I ain't sending out anything just so. I make sure that what it is I'm putting out is true. Because 90% of the information you see on Facebook is fake. Yeah?
And it's deliberately done. Too.
Yeah, it's people that just, with nothing better with their life to do, that just decide to go in and circulate things. That's why I constantly have to be updating who it is I have interactions with on Facebook, because I have a very low tolerance for nonsense. So I tend to delete certain stuff, block certain stuff, and then when I realize a person is a repeat offender, I mean, how could you find something to be so offensive and disgusting, and then you repost it on Facebook for it to show up in my timeline? Well, bye-bye, I don't need you on my timeline. If you could post something that could educate me or at least make me feel good for the day, make a joke or some kind of thing, I'm laughing the whole day, no problem. But something disgusting, and it's that some people do that recently. I mean, come on, man. Let's get serious.
Some of them not learning, man. They just...
No, well, I don't have to make them learn. It's their profile. They could do what they want. And I could do what I want, which is not view their profile. So I just delete them. No use for it. Just delete it. Yeah.
Hey, good morning to Brother Rodell Date. Good morning to you, my friend, and happy birthday. Hope you're having a wonderful day.
440-7377. That's 440-7377.
And 347-329-3101.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Another thing I keep seeing happening on Facebook too. A lot of people who dead how long and they profile looking to add you and updating and all kind of thing. Yeah.
I don't do much of that. I'm glad to that.
You don't do much of the Facebook thing?
Yeah. Well, I does it, but at this point in time, too, I'm glad for the last 2 months, phone out of order and that kind of thing, so I have a rest. Good morning and welcome.
Hello.
Good morning. Hello.
Hi.
Good morning. Go right ahead. You're live.
I'm live. Okay.
Oh boy, your phone seems to be giving some problems. Well, go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, morning. Morning. I just been on the radio.
Go ahead. Yes. You're live.
You get a problem? Let me see if I can...
No, you stop listening to the radio. Listen to us on the phone line and go right ahead. You're okay now. Just go right ahead. Yeah.
Right. I heard you as to me, I mean, by right, you're supposed to take some information from the export. But we have a word was used, what we call the appointed time. When you hear those things happen, the appointed time, the export giving you some advice. But they have to tell you to kind of use the victim, they tell you to use some some discussion for yourself. It all depends it only depends according to your location and how you is that you stay in the house. Listen, I Trinidad now. I'm a Grenadian. I'm in Trinidad now. I'm coming home soon. And when this thing happened, I was in my house. One part of my house is about 14 feet high, and the other part in front is nothing. It's just a step up, just a little one step up. The earthquake took me in that high part I was at the time. When it would take me there, I feel that thing. I feel that thing. Well, that will about 20 seconds after I realized the earthquake. Then what? I wouldn't stay right in that part there. I come out the house now, and I go in the yard because the yard is empty. The yard is flat. I mean, the yard empty, nothing to there. Why I should stay in the house? Why I should stay in the house? So I think the export and them have to explain to you that only staying in your house. I understand going below a table, and that is just joke because sometimes you don't have table. You can look at, to be honest with you, what table? Baba kind of glass table. You can go below this thing. So you doesn't know what you have in your house. You don't know. No, the expert don't know. I understand they're trying to. If you have any little kind of thing, then bed they make. You can go below bed. You can go below nothing. Where you going to go? So try to see if you could get the most convenient place. As they tell you, yes, places as your toilet and them, the area is small. So maybe if something breaking, you may not be able to come down against the two portion of the toilet and so on and so on. But just tell you to go below a bench, a bed, at this, and the export. You have to let the export tell the people to use some discussion for themselves.
My brother, I don't think you've been listening to us for the entire program, because we did say we're not the experts. We're going to let the experts speak on it. And the experts come up with these things not based on they just find that is the best thing to do, They come up with this based on the experience of people who have survived these sort of events over many years. It's not a man just decide, well, under the table is the safest place to go in any building. No, it is because the people that they have found that survived in buildings that have collapsed, the people that have survived, or in situations where other sort of situations like hurricanes, whatever it is, the survivors, they compile data from the survivors to see in such a situation what is the best thing to do. And therefore they tell you in a situation where there's an earthquake occurring and you're within a structure, what is the best thing to do. Many persons die during these things by exiting buildings. That's why they say if you're in one, you try to find a safe place within it.
I agree with that. I'm not really against the export. They don't give advice. But when you see the appointed time, which it doesn't be easy in Trinidad, they will see them guys and them on get down Charlotte Street, how they run in and how they thinking nobody goes stand it up. It's not easy when they're appointed time, which, but I understand.
No, but I also understand your point in that one must use their own discretion. Yes. That even though the experts say that's the best thing to do, no, a lot of persons died, and this might be a kind of point that might kind of muffle the one that I've been making, but a lot of persons died on September 11, 2001 because they listened to what the people said and they stayed in the Twin Towers. They said shelter in place. No, that was a fire, and they said shelter in place, and the people shelter in place, and the building collapsed with them. So yes, there is the certain capacity. You listen to what the experts say, but you have to judge it based on, that's the point you've been making, judge it based on the building that you're in, where you are at the point in time, because next thing you do have nothing to fall on you when you're coming out the building, so we're staying inside there and do.
What? That's the point.
Yeah, so I understand where you're coming from with that.
I was saying that, okay, and understand the export and them too.
Mm-hmm. So I understand you as well.
The theory, you have a word that say nobody knows is who in the kitchen or still hate. It's who them think go practical with already have a lot of, them when the mama will experience more than sometimes the export. Because the export going by what they read and what they think and so on. But it's a practical thing. Guys, I agree with you, just the same, and that's really coming on the export. They give advice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And by that advice, maybe would save life insurance because people might be running unnecessary. Because if all where you go, it doesn't make sense. It's better you stay in a corner somewhere in your house.
Yeah, so I understand you.
If you see the position that you would get outside and move safe, they should tell them you would do that too.
Mm-hmm.
That is a point I'm making.
But
so
that's why
make it a little wider. If you're running at all, if you get not from the house and you get not to be in more a comfortable place, in more a safer place in other ways.
Mm-hmm. But that's why we've said we're not the experts. We're gonna let the experts speak on it. We're gonna get them in and let them speak on such a thing.
When telling you, I agree. Kind of listening you with that export and this export and this export they go in school and they learn and they read in school. Them don't face the practical thing, They don't face it now. I agree with the export and the export all the engineers, the thing, this, what go in school and what they just have to go practical. They don't face the practical. So they will get to give advice. Somebody will give you advice, they never you have export what they don't marry, but they're giving people advice about marriage, how to go about with your marriage, and but them don't marry, you know that. So I agree with you with your export and the export, but situation like them thing, I think everybody breaking what the export says because people at the appointed time, people running wild.
It's all about your discretion, where you at and what's the best thing that you can do, and everything. But again, hey, that's what it's there for. The experts will give information. You, as an individual, based on the situation you're in, the position where you at, you will ultimately make that decision to save your life.
But you must know what are the choices that you have in such a situation. It can't be a situation you're caught and you don't know what to do because in that thinking, I don't know what to do, you're dead. So you must have the information. All right, my brother?
All right, my brother.
Okay, thank you so very much. I hope to see you back home soon.
I will be in my island pretty soon, God's willing.
All right, beautiful. Thank you so very much. All right. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. According to the situation, for instance, you might be in a place that there's not the chance of falling debris damaging you, and so you make a decision that, hey, the best thing to do is you understand? So it's up to that, but you need to know what are the options
that you have.
That if you are caught in that sort of situation, what is the best thing to do? You need to know, and I think that's where the information part comes in, and the experts they base on looking at.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
How are you guys doing today?
Oh,
we're okay.
All right. I just wonder, you touched on earlier on, and I think you forget it. You said about the Trade Center, and you asked Devon who is coming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know who is coming.
No, I was coming back to that.
Who is coming?
I can tell him, so I'll let you go back to him.
You could tell him. No, you could go ahead and tell him, man.
Pardon me?
You could go ahead and tell him.
Devon.
Yeah, boss.
Prime Minister of Barbados, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Prime Minister of Barbados.
Amor Motley?
Right.
All right.
Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
I went on Facebook this morning, and I saw a gentleman in the Grenada forest going through the forest and saying, I've never seen creatures like this before. They're very dangerous. What are they doing here? And I wondered, and the police combed the area already. And I said to myself, what are you talking about? Well, my goddaughter was standing right in the living room with me, and I said, Nicole, come and see this. And she came and she said, don't study this guy. All these things you're watching, they speak.
He always does that. And
these guys are nuts.
It was actually some toy lizards he had there.
You saw that, right?
Yeah, I've seen it. I see everything online.
Things like
toy lizards he take and he put there.
And put it up there and says dangerous beasts in the forest. This is one of our tourist attraction area. God, some of these people is what they wouldn't do.
He does a sort of comical bit with that every now and again.
I said, geez, that is so sad.
Not that I find them funny, but he does what he believes to be a comical bit every now and again with these sort of things. He did one by the stadium.
Well, you have a blessed day.
Okay,
all right, my friend.
All right, good.
Yeah, he did one by the stadium recently. I wouldn't repeat what he was trying to say because I think it's offensive to some people who have been assisting us in a serious way. And he was getting on with this thing about how the police comb the area and these dangerous. And when you look, was some toy lizards, like them Lego lizard kind of thing, that he had there in the thing. And it wasn't actually in the Grenada, it was just somewhere in the bush. But I understand where the caller is coming from with that kind of thing. That's why I keep saying, and folks, get it, ring it into your head. 90% of what you're seeing on Facebook is false. If you want to confirm if something is real, BBC, CNN. Even before Aretha Franklin died, I see they were saying she dead and all kind of thing. I checked the BBC, she's ill. And then she died. She's ill. And that is 2 days before, people was done putting up the woman dead, all kind, because they just want to be the first to say that she was dead. So I try to use reputable sources to find out if what I'm seeing is true. Yeah? And the thing is, many people take these stories now and they go to the elder people and all kind of telling them, look, they see this, they see that. They see a man in the shape, a rat in the shape of a man, a sheep make a man, all kind of stupidness. A little know about Photoshop and them kind of thing.
Scare people away.
No, do not believe stuff you see on the internet, especially international stuff. If it's one of your like somebody talking about a personal thing, a local person that you know personally that talking about something, you could take it thing. And sometimes it's always good to read to the end of the story because sometimes people just making a joke and is at the end of it they really say, I don't know who this belongs to. So read through things. 90% of what you see on Facebook is fake. Fake
news.
Yeah.
Fake news. According to Donald Trump.
Yeah. Fake. CNN, check something like CNN, BBC, NBC News. Check one of those sites and see if what you're seeing is the same thing. Then there's a site called Snopes, SNOPES, that when you're seeing some of those stories and them there, you could go and check them to find out if they're real. Because, to be honest with you, 90% of them fake. 4407377. It's now 17 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock. Remember the fogging schedule. Yeah, they're in Happy Hill and environs, including Brizan, the preschool and environs. Today, tomorrow, they'll be doing the town of St. George. Some of you business people might want to hang around a little late. Yeah, to make sure that your place get fogged properly. Yeah,
definitely.
Because next thing they pass, your place ain't get fogged and you come back with and meet them mosquitoes and them around next day. So you might want to hang around a little later and so.
And them mosquitoes go be angry, eh?
Yeah, or you kill my cousins.
Kill my cousins.
Or you kill my cousins.
Children and that kind of thing. You'll be angry. So make sure that those of the parents and so that's in your place, they get out.
Yeah. You have to deal with them. And Mount Moritz, they're coming your way. Grandma, the preschool and environs, they're coming your way on Friday. And folks, remember next week, it is happening at the Grenada Trade Center. The CCJ Advisory Committee, they are having that meeting. And a public meeting, Break the Chains of Colonialism for a United Caribbean, will be taking place at 6 p.m. You have enough time to go home, bathe, change, come back. Nice. And the feature address will be delivered by Prime Minister Mia Mottley of Barbados. Yeah, the woman who she get them a clean sweep in Barbados. Yeah. She get them a clean sweep. She pull out that broom, boy. That's not broom, according to Papa Jerry, vacuuming. So, folks, that's going to be happening down there. I expect to see a lot of you coming out there to that activity as well. All right? Nice, beautiful. 440-7377, 440-7377. Yeah, and what people blaming NADMA for? What NADMA getting blamed for this time?
Well, hey, that's a name they love to call. And it's good that they keep calling NAGMA's name, And so, people get to understand more of find out more of the role.
You cannot predict earthquakes.
No, you can't.
You cannot predict earthquakes. The most you could do with earthquakes is prepare people for when one occurs, which when you never know when it occurs, but prepare people for when one occurs
and what it can do
and what you can do after. Yeah, that's the most you can do. So I understand some people. I feel some people doing it as a joke too, man. A second earthquake was felt across the island in less than 24 hours. The National Disaster Management Agency has received confirmation from the University of the West Indies Seismic Research Center. I have to find out if it was seismic or seismic. Research Center that the earthquake felt, Jojo, message and tell me if it's seismic or seismic, right? The earthquake felt at 9:27 a.m. today, Wednesday the 22nd of August 2018, had a magnitude of 5.9. The data indicates that the origin of the earthquake was 10.6 degrees north latitude and 62.87 west longitude. Okay, we ain't really care about that. It was off Venezuela. We ain't really care about this longitude and latitude thing for this. All right, nice. No, me personally, we ain't care. That is important information for NADMA to send out, especially for technical information purposes. But for me and you, we ain't really care about that. Bottom line, 5.9, gone. And we hope we ain't see our next one in a hurry. All right. Today's earthquake is considered an aftershock of the very powerful 7.4 magnitude earthquake recorded yesterday in the Southern Caribbean. According to seismologists at UE Seismic Research Center, Dr. Joan Latchman, we can expect to have more aftershocks because of the depth of the first quake, but of a lesser magnitude. NADMA takes this opportunity to remind citizens to be prepared for all hazards that have the potential to affect us. In the case of earthquakes, drop, cover, and hold on, a procedure which can be life-saving. Drop under a sturdy bed, table, or desk, cover your heads and torso, and hold on to furniture or sit against a wall. We wish to state clearly that Grenada and its dependencies are not under tsunami watch or warning as a result of this morning's earthquake. So we are not under tsunami watch. All right, last time we had a tsunami was a long time ago. Yes, we've had tsunamis before. Very long time ago. It was caused by Kikum Jenny, I think. Yeah, very long time ago we had a tsunami. Very, very long time. Yeah, like decades ago. All right. 440-7377
and 347-329-3101.
Yeah, so we have not had a tsunami for everyone. We want one again. No, we good.
Yeah, yes, Deepo, I see your point, and it's an ongoing thing. Government has already, indicated his intention to pursue most of the owners of the derelict buildings that we have in the cities and so, right? Because eventually they are becoming hazardous, you understand, to the pedestrians, the population, and so. So it's an ongoing something. I've seen they have been doing some work in one or two of them already, breaking them down and rebuilding structures and so. Hey, it's an appeal that we have to continue to advocate for, and so especially within the city walls.
Mm-hmm. One of the tsunamis was quite back in 1867. Mm-hmm. There's a tsunami that affected Tyrrell Bay, Carriacou, Clark Scott Inlet, La Bay in St. Andrew, Westerhall Bay, Guave, and the Carenage. Yeah.
In what year?
That was 1867. None of we was around.
Wow.
Unless one of we flying. None of we Lugaru. I ain't thinking that no Lugaru. Yeah, them kind of people was them kind of thing, right? So Westerhall Bay, it was just under 0.6 meters. Carenage, it was 1.5 meters. Wow. Guave, it was 3.5 meters. So that's kind of, yeah. So the sea just kind of went up.
So that was the last one, or the first recorded one?
I don't know if it's the last. I'm looking through the listing here, but everything is sort of jumbled in the listing I'm looking here. The sea falling about 5 feet and exposing the reef in front of the lagoon and nearby areas within a few seconds with a slight rumbling noise. The water over the green hole and an area close to the spout began to boil and emit sulfurous vapor. The sea in the harbor rose violently and rushed into the Carenage. Limited damage. The wave rising so high at Douglaston Estate as to cover the bridge at the mouth of the river, destroying the cane fields. Major damage were done to the lands. At 9 p.m. and again at 1 a.m. there were heavy earthquakes, and that was in the year 1867. I'm speaking about Grenada here. Yeah. So we always have to be on the lookout. Yeah? We always have to be on the lookout. I'm pretty sure if I go through, I may see, because I may see others that would have affected Grenada before. 1868, there was another one. 1867 was the last one I just mentioned there. And there was one in 1868 as well. The sea in St. George dropped 1.8 meters and returned as a wave, flowing over the wharves to 1.5 meters. A second wave 1 minute after was of superior elevation and a lesser third followed. Undulating eddy occurred in the carronage for about an hour. 30,000 tons slopped placed on the wharf. So you take up a boat and put it on the wharf and that kind of thing. You understand? So yeah, these things can happen in our region. So we need to be aware and be ready for such things. Yeah, we need to be aware and be ready for such things.
Have to be prepared.
And Depot, I agree with you. Yeah. Augustine Bridgman, yes, CNN is not fake to that extent. Not the kind of stuff you just be seen on Facebook there. No. Yeah. I agree with Depot. It's time to address many of the derelict buildings that we have around. The legislation has been passed. It's time to notify the owners, and if they do not, no matter what Willie Redhead Foundation say, because they ain't going and pay for your funeral. So at the end of the day, derelict buildings around the town of St. George,
get them down.
Notification to the owners, you do not get rid of it within a short space of time. Deal with it. Destroy them. Yeah, get rid of them. If the Willie Redhead Foundation so like them, find the funding. No, see, I make no apology for that. Yeah, boy. And the ones that government own, make up your mind. Is either we go in and demolish them, or we go in and fix them, one or the other, but they cannot be left there to endanger the general public, whether it be in the town or whether it be out of the town. These buildings cannot be left to endanger the general public, because if that earthquake had just been a little closer to the surface, we'd have been in real problems right now. Real problems. We'd have still a talk studio, I wonder, boy. Might have been missing a few tiles and things, but it'd have been here.
Yeah, I thought could have been here.
The problem is lower buildings shake more vigorously, taller buildings shake less. You feel the motion, but it moves less. So we'd have a little problem. There's a piece of physics there. We'd have a little problem and thing. Lots of Western movie buildings in St. George, props fronts but no backs. Depot, I won't have you.
Yeah, Depot.
Mr. Dapradine, I will not have you.
A long time I hear you explain it.
I will not have you.
Western style building. Front
4407377
and 347-329-3101.
Yeah, folks, so those of you outside of Grenada who were a bit worried and wondering what's going on at home and so on, we're pretty okay. There have been many buildings, they had a little cracks and that sort of thing. Minor crack, would have anybody with a major cracking or buildings collapsing or anything like that. I know the last Just Natural Works, the chimney, one of the chimneys there, I know it experienced some damage. Yeah, but remember that thing is a couple 100 years old too.
And this thing, I mean, I know steel and anything in it to hold it. To basically keep it upright. It's just bricks. Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Sheldon.
Hello.
Good morning, Sheldon and Depan.
Good morning to you, my dear.
Good morning.
And how are you doing?
I'm a loyal listener. I just called this morning to tell you all our next earthquake passed this morning.
Yes, we are aware of it. Around after 9.
Yes, our next earthquake passed this morning. About
9:30?
After 9.
Yes.
29 past 9.
27 minutes after 9, the magnitude was 5.9. It's an aftershock.
I'm hearing you.
It passed at exactly 9:27 this morning. It was an aftershock.
Yes, the next one passed this morning.
It was an aftershock. You have to expect that. Every time you have a major earthquake, there are aftershocks after it. You get other earthquakes, minor tremors after it. So don't be too worried, because expect more. Expect more. I'm telling you now, expect more. So don't be surprised if another one passes. Yeah?
All right then.
Okay, my dear.
Okay, my dear. Have a wonderful day.
Okay then, bye-bye.
Yeah. Expect more, and that's why one of the first things we told you this morning is expect more, because after the major event you do have others as the thing trying to settle itself back into a certain position.
The earth's crust and the earth, everything, the plates try to realign itself. And so, but hey, it's
and also the Caribbean is within an earthquake zone.
Yes,
so we are within an earthquake zone. So we do expect that sort of volcanic activity, earthquakes, that kind of thing. But you know something? The guests, the tourists who are here right now, imagine that. You were in a Caribbean island that experienced a 7.4 earthquake, and all you felt was a little bit of shaking.
Yeah. And you are safe.
You're safe.
Yeah.
You could go about your normal business. Since last night, you could have go about your normal business. No tsunami to worry about, like if you're in Indonesia. If you're in Indonesia right now, you know you're running for the hills.
No, Japan or one of these.
You had a race between you, elephant, and people. You had to head for the hills if you're in another country right now. But you are in a country that is so safe. I only say Grenada is one of the safest destinations, if not the safest.
It's so true.
Imagine that. You had a 7.4.
And minimal damage.
Not a single, not even an injury to say, well, somebody get injured or some kind of thing. Maybe it might have one or two injuries that we just ain't hear about. I think so, a bus driver, I think a bowler came down
a bus
and damaged the front of the bus and that kind of thing. No, partner, insurance go fix you up. I hope you have insurance.
Well, yeah, you had some damage too because a glass thing break in my house. Yeah, a glass bottle break in my house. That's damage.
That's damage.
Yeah, I had to check on the insurance to cover, see what sort of coverage I have for that. You know?
Yeah, so I would think that you would understand that you're in the best place on earth to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, not only are we beautiful, we're safe.
Very safe.
Yeah, you could go into St. George right now without having to worry about anybody grabbing your handbag and run.
Yeah.
Or some pickpocket going with your wallet and thing. In fact, you're pretty much assured, Madam or Miss Tourist, that if you drop your wallet, somebody will bring it back for you. Yeah, you'll get it back. Not always with the cash according to who finds it. Somebody might find it and they might, you understand? But in most instances, you're getting it back with the cash.
Yep.
That's just how we Grenadians roll. Yeah.
We good like that.
Yeah, that's just how we Grenadians roll. So you could basically say you're safe. Yeah? You've had a 7.4. Your hotel room, I'm sure, only if you see a little crack here or there, and by the time you go and come back again, that crack gone. Yeah, that's how we just roll here. Nice, so you're safe. Nice, you ain't have to look to jump the first plane to head out. You're good. Yeah, you don't have to worry about, mass panic and all kind of thing on the island time. No, you're good. All right, nice. So you know anyway you have to go and tell your friends to come Grenada. Yeah, because even when they have an earthquake, you're safe. Yeah, man. 440-7377. That's the number, folks. You can call and get on to the inside.
Me. It was California damages.
It was California.
Damage
man.
Or New York. I mean, 7.4. I mean, it's not a small something, you know.
Yeah.
Right? And we experienced that in Grenada for at least, I mean,
that was about 2 minutes of shaking.
Yeah, 2 minutes of shaking, and we
because when I first got it, it's like, and then I realized, it's continuing. And then I said, no, this thing ain't stopping. And then I realized, like, he started to get harder and harder, and he reached a peak. And then he just...
Well, around when he reached about 45 seconds, he started to pick up that for about a whole 15, 20 seconds. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's an experience.
So, folks, I as you said, if you're visiting the island, you were here for that event yesterday and even the event this morning, you realize that you're in a safe place.
Very safe place.
You're safe.
Grenada to the world.
In fact, I think that's the new theme we're going to be using when we advertise in Grenada. Grenada, you're safe.
You are safe. Without that, I mean, everything pass and you're comfortable, you're safe, well taken care of.
Yeah.
I mean, where else you want to live?
You don't have to worry about terrorists. You don't have to worry about all kind of disease passing through and this kind of thing. And even when it's an earthquake, all you guys are a little shaking, and that is it.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, we're better to go. Tell your friends, come down.
Come down.
Tell your friends. And watch winter coming up, you know. So they want a nice place to lime. Recommend safe, Grenada.
Safe, sunny, special, sweet, everything. I mean, that's
we're beautiful and we're a blessed country. We're a beautiful and we're a blessed country, and we believe that we know that we're the best destination for you.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, and it has been proven over the couple of years. The destination, I mean, Grenada destination has been. I mean, visitors has been coming here more and more every year.
But folks, even with the increased visitor arrivals, a little over 10% for the first quarter of this year. We have to maintain that, and the way that we maintain that is not by going on social media and saying all kind of negative and untrue things about our country. It is by going and showing the beauty. You know, one of the things that I do from time to time. Like my good friend out there in Carriacou, Jamal Adams, and Hunter, and so out there in Carriacou, or Nazim Benjamin here, Tokra. And I call him Neocell so much that I actually forgot his proper name. People like them, Damian Jacob, and so all these photographers. I have all of them as friends on Facebook, and they always put up some of the most beautiful imagery of Grenada that you could possibly think of. Although Damian, I find you slacking these days, eh? But yeah, I myself do photography and I take photos. And every now and again, I would post one of these to social media. You know what that does? I've got friends from Eastern Europe, countries like in the former Yugoslavia. You'd have friends in Bosnia who would like to book a ticket to come here at the ending of this year. I have friends in places like this place at the bottom of Russia there, Ukraine, and so on. All of these people who are interested in coming to Grenada, plus people in the UK whose dream is to visit Grenada because some of the images they've seen of Carriacou, some of the images they've seen of Grenada and so on, their dream is to come here. And then when they realize that when it comes to crime, it's not non-existent, but it's very low here in Grenada, they all want to come to our country. And as long as we continue to do things like that, to help use our ability to market our country, instead of trying to use our ability, I see there was a fight. I must make this particular one, and that's to tell you all how fake things on the internet are from time to time. There was a fight in St. George, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, with a policeman, 2 policemen, and this bus conductor. You remember that fight in St. George that somebody captured on video? It's been posted again by some people, and they're saying that this is a fight that takes place in Nigeria. Once it was being posted, they said it's in Jamaica. Next, they're saying it's in Nigeria. And you have some people, number one, that is fake. It happened here in Grenada. But some people do have enough wisdom to know not to go into that conversation and try to boast that take place in Grenada. What you want people to think about Grenada, that we are a place that this happened? I mean, this was a one-off. The reason it was so sensational because this thing doesn't generally happen here. But you have people that going there and trying to push it now and say, no, that's Grenada. And they want to quarrel with the people, you know. Yeah. No, that fight didn't take place there. That fight take place in Grenada. Negativity. You think you're doing something positive for your country when you do them kind of thing? You're not doing something positive for your country when you do those sort of things.
The negative things that is being said and broadcast about Grenada, and we need to stop that.
Yeah. Yes, Angelique, the Adams boys. Yeah. Hunter and Jamal. My boys. And extremely good photographers. Extremely good photographers. Both of them. They just have a gift when it comes to those things. Yeah. And sometimes I put their photos out. I would put up their photos, or if I want to stress out some of my good friends, my Grenadian friends.
That is what I do.
Who are in the US and the UK and so.
And it's cold out there.
No, just wait until they have some snowfall and just post some pictures of Grandans Beach.
Grandans or Bathway. That is what I post most of the time. When I see those postings of beautiful sides of Grenada, I post it. I send it out. And so just to taunt some of my friends and so they come and enjoy yourself, man.
Yeah. Folks, 440-7377, 440-73. Hey, let me say a good morning to you, Lyndon George. Hope you're having a wonderful morning this morning. Colette, best you send that one to me on the next number. I'll send you, I'll inbox you a number to send that for me. All right? I'll inbox you. Angelique, your Carriacou people out. Find your day, nothing, you know. Yeah. Andy Johnson, yes, he takes wonderful photos as well. Nazim, what's Tokra's proper name? Neocell. Andrew. But they can find his photos on Pictures of Grenada, innit? He has a website, Pictures of Grenada. If you go to Pictures of Grenada, you'd see a lot of Andrew's work. Yeah, Tokra Neocell does a wonderful job. And folks, this is the kind of thing we must be doing. This costs you nothing. To just take one of those photos and share. Please give them the credit. Make sure you say this is from this website or this is this photographer and that sort of thing. Some of them tag, they watermark their photos, so you don't have to do it. They do it already in it. Others, they don't do it, so you have to say that it's from them. But this is a wonderful way of us marketing our own country. the time that some of us take to put up some of these disgusting things, and I'm talking about people with all sort of funny skin disease or deformities and this kind of thing, I'm putting it up and saying, oh, if you don't click like, and I mean, come on, man, why would I click like for all my people to see the stupidness? Come on, man, use some sense. I would put up a picture of Grenadas Beach, or BBC Beach, or an aerial shot of St. George, or even better, Lavera, or Bathway, or La Sagesse Beach, or my favorite beach. Sorry, everybody, but my favorite beach is actually Paradise Beach in Carriacou. Paradise Beach in Carriacou, I would put up photos of these and say, yes, like and share. That's why I want people to like and share. But some shippiness with some person with a skin disease and all kind of thing they're going and put up and then telling me like, who you talking to? Me? No. I like it and share something that is beneficial to my country. That even if it's one person I make come to Grenada, I'm responsible for one person. And if all of us responsible for one, that's 100,000.
100,000.
Right.
Just in one season.
Yeah. If all of us responsible for that, then we've done something good. And they ain't go come alone and they'll bring somebody with them because they ain't coming alone. And then when they come and they take their own photos and they go back, then you're responsible for them being responsible for other people coming as well. The multiply effect. Show off your country. You have a country that's beautiful and you should show it off. Show it off. Take a picture. Show your beach. Take a picture. Show the Karani James Boulevard with the boats and them kind of. We could show it off now. We couldn't show it off a few years ago. Yeah. We could show it off now.
Show the Morris Bishop International Airport.
Yeah.
Show the port, the new port. And so, I mean, let's do these things and lift Grenada status out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Angelique. Okay, sorry, Mom. I didn't know. Yeah. So show the beauty of Carriacou. Show the beauty of Petit Martinique. Yeah, there's a beach in Petit Martinique I had to visit. I didn't visit it yet. I had to go up Petit Martinique and take a soak up in Petit Martinique. And make up my mind I must do that one before this year done. Must go up to Petit Martinique. Mama Jane, when I come up a woman, you know what I want, eh? Yeah, Mama Jane, Shema, all you know what I'm looking for when I go up in Petit Martinique. Organize me. Nice. So, but I go in and take a nice little soak. Food I'm talking about, eh? All the people, there's all kind of thing in all your mind. Food, them people know what food I'm talking about. When I reach in Petit Martinique, Mama Jane put me sit down and she started feed me so. They wondering why the gain size.
you have some wonderful, for example, sites that I've not seen much of that people share and expose a lot is the beautiful waterfalls that we have in Grenada.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't have much photos of those.
Yeah, and we need to have some beautiful waterfalls, not just the regular ones that, I mean, we are accustomed to, like the Annadale, the waterfall, and the Seven Falls.
I haven't seen too many photos of the Seven Falls, you know.
Yeah, not much. Even there's another fall right there as you enter in Budge Grove, coming from St. George's at the top. Up there's another one there that much people don't, you know.
Might have to take the camera and head to the bush.
And head to the, do something around, right? Some of the you have some beautiful sites, man, that we need to expose. And I must say, kudos to the Grenada, the Tourism Authority. They have been doing an excellent job the last couple of years in trying to expose Grenada, much more than it has. And we have to help, right, in that promotion. Not just leave it up to them and so, right? But we ourselves as citizens of Grenada, we travel a lot, right? We on Facebook, we on social media every minute of the day. Let's help promote our country. All right, let's build a status of Grenada. We are the most beautiful country in the world. I mean, we got to be proud of that, So let's do things to let people know that we are proud and we appreciate what we have. As you said, Angelique, the entire topography of Grenada, and some people say that Grenada is small, but.
No, I mean, you've got like the different lakes. You've got Granatang Lake. You've got all these things.
Yeah,
Granatang Lake is probably the most photographed.
Yes.
Yeah, but you've also got the other
Livera
one,
Lake,
the Livera Lake, and so on. Now they have the lookout stone. People going up on the stone there and look out.
That's on top of River Sally.
I haven't been there yet.
I've not been there.
I haven't been there yet.
But,
to take my selfie on the stone. Yeah.
There are so many places. I mean, how many persons who live in Grenada?
Colin is saying he's a Vinci, and Grenada is an excellent island for vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, my brother.
Yeah. And how many people in Grenada, persons in Grenada who have visited the Seven Falls and traveled from the top to the bottom? Experience that. How many of you have done that? Mount Camel Falls.
I've been to Seven Falls many moons ago.
Yeah, we need to explore and share more of it. There are so many hidden treasures within the realm of Grenada. I mean, we should be surprised. I mean, we see visitors come here every year, and they know more of Grenada than we do.
I try the students at the SU. They'll embarrass some of you.
No joke. And then you have some guys who organize the hash, the hash harriers, how you call them. They explore a lot of
hash house harriers.
Yeah, they explore and a lot of areas in Grenada and so on, and that myself and others have not been. So I mean, we need to do much more to expose the beauty of this gem we call Grenada.
Take pictures and share. The same way I look at share when two people fighting, same way I look at share when somebody cussing, same way I could share all sorts of skin disease and nasty bodily fluids and all these kind of things that people go and they put out. Share pictures of your country. Yes, show the beautiful carnage. Yeah. Show the beauty of Grenada.
Yeah, man, the
take your photos and share.
Yeah, I mean the sight of the carnage in the night, the city centers. I mean it's a beautiful, thing to expose. I mean, we need to do much more of that.
We don't know what we have here.
Yeah. Good morning and welcome.
Under the nutmeg tree.
Under the nutmeg tree.
You ever climb Camp Ferron?
Oh yeah, when I was in secondary school. Yes, I did.
Are you hearing me, Devon?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I did.
Have you ever climbed
Devon did.
Ferron?
Yes, I did.
Wicked view.
Yes, one boo.
Yeah, and my third son name is Ferron, and I name him after Camp Ferron.
After Camp Ferron.
Yeah.
I did a lot of that.
Really, I got a Ferron, I got a Fidel, I got a Che, I got a Botili, a Cuba, and Zinzi.
Long live the struggles, man.
Yeah, me brother, respect, yeah?
All right.
I'm listening to what you're really, I'm a firm listener to your station every day. I must listen to you all every day.
Always.
Yeah, my brother.
All right, my brother.
One love.
Yeah, man. Peace, man. Yeah. One love, yeah?
Yeah.
A man nearly have more name than Aloysius.
Yeah. I hope he was not under the nutmeg tree when the earthquake passed yesterday.
Then he didn't have to pick again. Everything shook off. So he had it easy.
Yeah,
we could make a little joke and so right now, but this is serious business, folks. This is serious business.
As he was talking about Fedo, all right, Fedo, that's another beautiful view again. All right, when you're on the top of Fedo, Kwakwa, Fedo, this place, and so you have, the photographic scene that you can get from these areas here, man, it's priceless. So we need to do some more exploring and share Grenada with more people out there.
Also, you ever been up to Mount St. Catherine?
Oh yeah.
Well, come to military man, or you have to go
and you have to train. You have to be able to maneuver all these areas and so.
In case you had to go up there, that's nice. Yeah.
Well,
to do what you had to do, you had to go up there.
Kublal and all these places. Now vehicles can go up there. Before, vehicles had to stay up there and rotten. You couldn't come down.
When they bring it up, is it?
Yeah, you have about two vehicles that when new vehicles, they went up there and just couldn't come down. Rotten up there.
Cement mixers?
Yeah.
Also, just leave it there?
But why? You no choice to coming down with that?
Yeah, but one thing I want them come down with is the garbage.
Yeah.
One of the things we've been finding is that when people have gone up to Kublal, they've gone up to Mount St. Catherine and so on, that they are leaving a footprint. They go up there and they drink the bottle of wine with the plastic cup, and they leave the bottle of wine and the plastic cup and the plastic paper and the plastic bag and all kind of thing. They're leaving it up there. Folks, when you go up, take your garbage. Same way you bring your garbage up, you could bring it down because it's lighter to bring down than it is to bring up. I'm pretty sure that the bottle that was full with wine when you went up,
it's empty.
It's empty by the time you're coming down.
Yeah.
Bring your garbage back down.
So if it was 5 pounds, it becomes only half a pound.
Because you see, you know what I will vex for now? You won't vex if government now come and fence the access to there,
put restrictions.
And put a restriction and say that you have to pay to go up, and then you have to make sure that you bring like, you know, you have to stand up over some people with a big stick. We like to be disgusting. So you have to stand up over, whoever doing that, I don't care who he is, you're disgusting. That you have to stand up over some people with a big stick and say, don't go up on there and don't go up on top there and show no garbage. Don't go up there and show no garbage. So you have to fence the entrance and exit so that when they go up, you make sure that you could only go up with certain things and you could only come down with certain things, and you have to pay a fee to go up and a fee to come down. That is what some of us like. We don't like the thing to be free and nice and decent and everybody do things in the right way. We like things to be like that. You understand?
And what is so difficult in you go in these areas and you know you would have garbage and so. I mean, okay, if you don't want to have the garbage bags, which might tear, look at hold at 2 or 3 fine bags. Put your garbage in it and just roll it down the hill with you. Coming down, it's easier to carry down than, you know, going up. You know, so I mean, we have to be mindful with the whole entire garbage situation. And as the rainy season has started, Sheldon, as the rivers and so continue to overflow its bank, you've seen more and more debris, household debris that's supposed to be in the landfills, right? And so, I mean, we continue to appeal, right, to our citizens to be more careful of how you dispose of your garbage, right? It is very important. That is just one way of ensuring that Grenada remains a healthy and prosperous country. All right, the disposal of our garbage is very, very important, the way we do it.
Again, folks, a reminder that you will feel aftershocks again. You will continue. Yeah. And Digicel and Flo, the same way, let us find the means to come and tell me about go and shop in this place, and it had this fete going on for Carnival, and so find a way to send out some messages in relation to these things to the general public. Yeah. Speak with NADMA,
through NADMA,
get some very nice short messages and find a way to send them out to the general public.
I would appreciate that more than...
Rather than my phone beeping 4 and 5 times a morning with all kind of nonsense thing about this fete and make sure and get your tickets now and that thing happening.
Don't send it on my phone.
And I think the average, we should be able to opt out of these things. I don't think we should be forced to have these things onto our phone. Yeah, whether it's political, whatever. I don't think we should be forced. We should be able to opt out of having these messages sent.
It's optional for us.
So the same way, it is fine to send all them thing. Look at that. A 7.4 earthquake pass. All you couldn't find the time to send a little message to tell people, well, we're not under tsunami watch. Or if we were under tsunami watch or anything like that.
Coordinate with NADMA.
Coordinate with NADMA and thing. Again, all some links today. All your Digicel and all your Flow. All you just find time to send all kind of other things to people phone. All you having double and quadruple the amount of money you put on and all kind of thing. Find the time to put things that could affect the lives of Grenadians as well onto the phone. Yeah, find the time and send the proper thing.
And I want to also appeal to a number of our radio stations, right? To do much more in disseminating information about disasters and so much more. Coordinate with NADMA, you know. I mean, have special programs.
Maybe they have an arrangement with them. I know, but it ain't working because nothing.
Exactly, you're not getting anything. Could do something.
Let me pull my phone this morning and see one message coming about get double data or some kind of thing. I'll go find out.
You know, it is very important that, you know, all you entities, I mean, newspapers, radios, whatever, have a working relationship with NADMA, right? To source information, and every day, well, at least we in the hurricane season, and so every day, every other day, you send out a message.
Coach ready cash, get a loan for whatever you need up to $10,000. Get a chance to win $1,000.
I want to know about that. Putting people in more expense or anything like that. Give us information, right, to educate us and enlighten us of the dangers.
Double is better. Get 2x data today. Only when you activate any prepaid combo plan. Dial.
Double information about tsunami and earthquakes and hurricanes and so. That is what we need. More of that.
That's what I see on my phone now.
Yeah.
For the day.
You understand? So think about it. So we need to do much more.
What is stopping you, Mr. Telecommunication Company, what is stopping you from sending out a message today or any other time saying, in case of earthquakes, this is what you should do.
Yeah, some tip points.
A hurricane tip that could fit within the text message limit.
Exactly.
In case of a hurricane, this is what you should do. So somebody had to come and pay all it to do that. All they don't care about real life. Yeah.
And in all the messages you send out, I mean, just at the end of the day, say, okay, while you have fun,
it ain't costing them nothing to do it, so they can't say that it have a cost. It ain't costing all nothing to send out those messages. So they come with that one. Yeah. Go ahead, tell them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? While you're having fun, you giving people information to have fun. At the end of it, just say, okay, remember, we are in the hurricane season. Remember to do this or remember to do that. You know, I mean, we need to be more, innovative and capture the minds of people. And so with different things. And I call them garbage. And I wish they could stop sending them on my phone. And so.
No, you
right?
I mean, the way this is send us work, but you could. I mean, there should be a way to opt out.
To opt out, you don't put people in a situation where you always have to get these messages.
My Trinidadian friends who are listening right now, close your ears. Yes, stop sending this sort of gubar to my phone.
Or miera.
Yeah, do not send gubar.
Yeah, it's not welcome by everyone.
We're just saying this, and it's not that I have anything against the companies.
Nope.
I just think that at a time like when these things are happening, there must be a system in place that, because it's the best way.
They must step up.
It's the best, most efficient and reliable way to get information to each and every Grenadian outside of something on radio. That is the most effective way. Two most effective ways to get a message out to Grenadians: radio and the mobile phones.
Yep.
That's the two most effective way. Via text message, because you're sending WhatsApp and everybody has data all the time. But a text message, nearly every single phone. I don't think I have any phone right now that don't take text messages. So text message, SMS message, and as well as to send the text messages, as well as to send it via radio. You could get the message out. Yeah. We're quickly running out of time. 440-7377.
Wow. Yeah. 347-329-3101.
I'm seeing Trinidad just got hit. I'm wondering if that's the one from earlier, from about 2 hours ago, if it's the next one.
Yeah,
that Trinidad got hit with again at 5 point. Excuse me, my throat is starting on me. But that's the same. I wonder if it's the same one or if it's another one. It's the same one. Yeah, so it's not another one. Okay. So that's the same one from 9:27 this morning. All right, nice, yeah. But folks, we just have to kind of hammer it into your head. Expect more aftershocks.
Don't be surprised.
With earthquakes come aftershocks.
Lots of it at times. Sometimes you get one or two.
You get one or two sometimes. Sometimes you get
lots of it,
a lot. Sometimes you get one. Sometimes you really get nothing major. Sometimes there are a lot, but you don't feel them because there have been 9 so far. Since that earthquake, they have been, we're so accustomed with hurricane.
So used to the hurricane scenario.
After that earthquake at 5:20 something yesterday, there have been no less than 9 aftershocks. But the thing is, the majority of them, they have been so low key that you haven't been feeling them to really know like aftershock pass. That one was a bigger one, so you feel a 5.9. Yeah, but the others you generally don't feel. All right?
And aftershocks could be as dangerous as the real thing.
Yeah, so still be careful. We need to be careful.
Very careful.
Yeah, I think that is it for the phone line for today. No?
Yeah. So information, I mean, you look for information, get credible information, seek your lookout for NAGMA, and so to be the official voice, all right, of disasters in Grenada. I can only speak for Grenada. Try your best and verify all your information. Yes, you may pick up information otherwise, but try and verify them, especially through, right, the official source NAGMA, right? It wouldn't hurt for you to double check twice or 3 times to make sure you post or even share that information with your family and friends. Very, very important.
Mm-hmm. And also, you see, information is updated on a regular basis, because yesterday when we got the first information, it was saying a 6.8, then it went up to 6.9, then a 7, and then a 7.4. So, I mean, you got updated information. It's now level out, it's a 7.4 from the various things that they have. And you've had several other earthquakes for the year so far. You've had a lot. It's a general, listen, before the Caribs and Arawaks and them leave South America and come to the Caribbean islands, you've been having earthquakes, you've been having tsunamis, you've been having hurricanes. We will get them.
We wouldn't stop.
It doesn't mean it's the end of the world because the place flooded the other day and we have earthquakes now. I ain't a believer in that sort of thing. These things happen. What we need to do is focus on preparing for them. Yeah? Preparing for them. How do we cope with them? During, how do we prepare? How do we cope during? And how do we cope after? That's what we need to focus on. The sort of thing about the world going on and all kind of thing. The Caribs and them used to have earthquake and hurricane too. Feel never used to have earthquake and hurricane? It's had an earthquake in Jamaica sink a whole city.
Yep.
It's had an earthquake here in Grenada. Sink the first capital. So these things do happen. So you have to understand that, work with that, know how to prepare, know how to deal with it when it's happening, know how to deal with it at the end. I think we can't say much more than that. And prepare for more aftershocks. Right? We can't say more than that. That's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. Remember, folks, those of you in the Happy Hill and environs, especially around the Happy Hill Secondary School, the Uganda Matters School and so, and around the preschool in Brizan, the fogging team will be there this afternoon starting from 5 p.m. So look out for them. And tomorrow they'll be in the town of St. George. You can look out for them as well. Yeah? That's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. And everything you say and do it safe and secure. One is speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
My name is Sheldon Scott.
I'm Devon Romaine.
And we are out of here. You understand? And we're gonna play our song to show how thankful we is, eh?
Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, an ardent advocate of Grenadas culture, spent some time Tuesday afternoon enjoying the sights and sounds of Carnival 2018 and greeting masqueraders. Here are some highlights.
It's that time again for partying. Start the thing, give me the leeway. Back and I start on the freeway. I'm feeling that it is the B-day. Let me unwrap the vibes and come alive. Because we give people demonstrate if I'm out to perform. Because we give steady, somebody tell them for me. They can drain me energy within no time at all. Pretty much, I some man you know to play mass. Yeah, what we say, don't come and grant us no favors. We money there, and all on a holiday. We bumping like it's a normal day. If you can keep up, then stay back. But no waiting on nobody. Let this fella like that, I reach the best, get a vibe.
Do in 30 minutes. You could be on one of our 45 black and white sand beaches, or perched atop a lush mountainside admiring our stunning coastline, or slicing the Caribbean Sea on a traditionally built sloop, or adventuring off the beaten path, or hanging out with our underwater sculptures, or do nothing at all. Whatever you choose, an amazing vacation is only 30 minutes away in Grenada. Visit www.puregrenada.com.
Grenada begins drafting country program for submission to Green Climate Fund. Details to this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back with the National Report. I'm Rakisha St. Louis. Grenada has begun drafting its country program for submission to the Green Climate Fund and other international donor agencies under the Getting Grenada Green Climate Fund Ready or 3G project. A 5-day workshop which began on Monday will see the development of project ideas for the program. To secure continued financial and technical assistance from the GCF, Grenada is expected to prepare a country program, which is a pipeline of projects that will increase the country's adaptation and mitigation capacity towards the effects of climate change. The process will draw its priority areas of action from those projects to be developed and implemented under the recent Cabinet-approved National Adaptation Plan and Grenada's medium-term agenda. Grenada has already secured millions through Green Climate Fund to undertake several projects which will build the island's resilience to climate change.
We need to be relentless in our efforts to source and to access funds to assist us in becoming more climate resilient while making smart climate decisions such as investments in renewable energy. As you have already heard, Grenada has had great success in securing 145 million EC dollars from the Green Climate Fund for major interventions in our water sector. We are cognizant that this is not enough, and we have a lot more work to do.
Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Climate Resilience, Mrs. Roxy Hutchinson. The country program will, among other projects, be featured at the Regional Structured Dialogue in November in Grenada. Head of the German Grenadian Pilot Program, GIZ, Dieter Rothenberger, says the dialogue is a tool used by the fund to trigger discussions between governments and accredited entities and potential donors with the hope of securing project financing.
It's not something just on paper and then, okay, let's put it on the shelf. This is then really to be used for the discussions in the future to secure the funding for Grenada. And as I said, there's the Regional Structured Dialogue in November here in Grenada, but also there's the COP, the Conference of the Parties, where there is a delegation from Grenada again, and Ms. Hutchinson has been a member of that delegation for the past years. I see Spencer Thomas as well, as, of course, as a very experienced negotiator. So it's also important for the delegation to have these kind of project ideas in a well-developed manner in the back, if you want, if they start discussing with potential partners, donors, so that they can come up with projects which are not just ideas from one person, but where you really see the link, the need to the national development.
The workshop ends on Friday, August 24th. Grenada will begin developing a national drought policy in the coming months as the country seeks ways to adequately mitigate against its harmful effects. That policy could be informed in part by the outcome of a 3-day drought risk management seminar, which began here on Monday. Dr. Ronald Roopnarine, Net Manager for Caribbean WaterNet, says over the 3 days they will look at modules that focus on theoretical and institutional aspects of drought management in the Caribbean.
What we tend to find is this institutional fragmentation. So it's quite good that we have people from various agencies here today, so people could express, okay, well, why can't we manage drought or flood or any water issue effectively? It's not necessarily that we lack the knowledge, but maybe it's because of institutional coordination or things like that. So all these things will be discussed at length during the next 3 days.
Chief Technical Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, Daniel Lewis, who spoke on behalf of Minister Yolambine Hosford, said the heavy rains of 2 weeks ago highlights the need to put more effort into implementing mitigation and adaptation strategies to effectively deal with climate change. He says Grenada has received support to develop a disaster risk management plan, and he hopes some aspects of the plan will be deliberated on over the 3-day period.
How do you, develop all the necessary tools so you could, once you see the sign, so you could develop the National Drought Early Warning and Information System, because sometimes, there are certain signs that trigger, that give one the indication, yes, there's a likelihood that we'll experience.
Trevor Thompson, the land use officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, made a reference to the severe drought being experienced by Australia and California. He says we must be vigilant at all times.
We have to have the mindset that we are not too small to have a drought. Not because we have all these rivers and we think we could experience a drought, and a very severe one too. From my experience being on the Water Authority board in 2010 when we were experiencing the drought, we were at the point where we had to barge water to Carriacou to save lives in Carriacou. So it was that serious.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Data reveals that rats and other rodents are responsible for the transmission of many diseases. In Grenada, the most common is leptospirosis, and it can cause your death. This disease is directly related to rats and mice infestation. Signs and symptoms of lepto, as it is commonly referred to, are high fever, headache, chills, muscle aches, vomiting, jaundice, and abdominal pain. If your home had or is infected with rats and you have any of these symptoms, please check with your doctor immediately. Declare war on rats. Starve them. Kill them. Rats are the most unwelcomed guests. Reduce, control, eliminate them. This is a message from the Ridge to Reef Project, protecting biodiversity and ecosystem functions.
Welcome back. With the carnival season now over, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell says his government's immediate priority is preparing for the 2019 budget, having already held the annual budget retreat at the end of July. During a post-carnival message to the nation, which was aired on Sunday, Dr. Mitchell said stakeholder engagements will begin soon to ensure a budget that is adequately reflective of all sectors.
Government is particularly committed to youth development and empowerment, and will initiate a special engagement with all of them. An innovation this year would be the presentation of the government's medium-term agenda to external stakeholders. Again, this illustrates our ongoing commitment to transparency and the principles of good governance.
Dr. Mitchell says the mid-year economic review and estimated 2018 performance compiled by the Ministry of Finance shows that the Grenada economy will continue along a positive trajectory, and the projected growth is 3.5%, but it could very well exceed that. Reflecting on the just-ended festive season, which he described as a definite success, Dr. Mitchell said all must be commended for playing their part in ensuring that locals and thousands of visitors who flocked to our shows remain safe.
And I must acknowledge the role of the Royal Grenada Police Force in maintaining law and order. I therefore commend the Acting Police Commissioner Edwin Martin for his leadership and the entire rank and file of the RGPF, for effectively policing all the major shows and keeping it incident-free as much as possible. The police recorded no major incidents during the culminating of days of Carnival, and that speaks volumes. Violence has no place in our festivities, and we must maintain a no-tolerance approach to crime. I must commend the general public as well for ensuring that your conduct did not cause any undue disturbance, and that your interaction with the police, where it became necessary, was respectful and cooperative.
Finally, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell met on Monday morning with Director General of the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, Mr. Manuel Otero. Mr. Otero, who was sworn in as Director General this year, expressed gratitude for the support for his candidacy given by Grenada and other Caribbean countries. He spoke of one of his priority areas being building bridges between Latin America and the Caribbean as part of the organization's medium-term roadmap. Prime Minister Mitchell said ICA's technical support will be a much-needed asset as government continues to explore ways to develop the rural economy to provide more employment and investment opportunities. That story just ended the national report for today. Let's review the top story. Grenada begins drafting country program for submission to Green Climate Fund. On behalf of all those who made this newscast possible, I'm Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Government to absorb tuition costs for 10 students attending UE in Trinidad. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the National Report, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. Minister with responsibility for tertiary education, Senator Pamela Moses, says Grenada's fiscal discipline is a major contributing factor in her government's ability to step in and absorb tuition costs for 10 students attending UE in Trinidad, who will be sponsored annually for the next 4 years. This became necessary after the Trinidad government alerted Grenada that after years of sponsoring the 10 scholarships, it cannot do so for 2018. Senator Moses says the cost is within the government's fiscal space.
Our government will absorb all the tuition cost within the economic costs bursaries that is paid monthly to the University of the West Indies to cater for these 10 students. So these 10 students would be traveling to Trinidad and Tobago during this week and next week to continue their education. We also would like the nation to know that these 10 scholarships cost $654,385 for the 4-year period.
Annually, government budgets $1 million towards the payment of economic costs to the University of the West Indies. While she acknowledges that there have been delays in payments before, Senator Moses says these were addressed and they must make an immediate payment of $128,000 this week so the students can attend school.
Cabinet has fully approved the payments to the university and to allow the students to continue. So they will be proceeding to Trinidad with all the documentation. So that will be finalized during this week. But we had to wait for cabinet approval, and we got that yesterday at cabinet.
The Keith Mitchell-led government has pumped $2.6 million in the local school books program as government continues to demonstrate its commitment to the development of education and young people in general. Details in this report from Kevin Frederick.
Finley Scholar Jeffrey, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education, who at the time was a guest on GBN's Beyond the Headlines television show, made the announcement on Monday night.
This year, for instance, because we had new books and new editions, there was a serious injection and a serious investment this year in the school books program. The government would have spent about $2.6 million in new texts.
P.S. Jeffrey was responding to journalist Lou Smith and concerns raised by some callers regarding the delay and apparent unavailability of books on the island. GIS learned that the seemingly mad rush for books, which resulted in long queues outside a popular bookstore in the city, was primarily due to a supplier's problem, since other bookstores on the island were awaiting their supply. The former school teacher told viewers that the inclusion of new books was part of a review process, and the decision was based on recommendations taken by teachers and educators after extensive consultations for nearly 2 weeks, during which they looked at existing books, new books, the syllabus and other considerations, all in the best interest of education.
These texts, they are here. In fact, distribution began today in the primary schools. And we will be rolling out to the secondary by Wednesday. So by Wednesday, all of the books will be in the schools. Those are the books that are in the book program. And those books will be accessible to parents and students.
For the National Report, I am Kevin Frederick.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
The safety on our roads make this a major priority. Health of our people, a crucial necessity.
Accidents happen when road users are either irresponsible or inconsiderate in one way or the other. Play your part. Reduce your speed. Be attentive. It is your personal responsibility. Let 2017 be the start of no more road fatalities. Be safe, be seen, be smart. So let's wise up as a nation. Get to your destination safe.
Continuing the news, Grenada has signed on to ICA's medium-term plan for Eastern Caribbean states for 2018 to 2022. A delegation from ICA, the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation in Agriculture, headed by Director General Mr. Manuel Otero, is currently on island finalizing plans for the transformation and modernization of the agriculture sector. Grenada's agriculture sector has benefited significantly from its partnership with ICA through training, technical and other resource support. Director General Otero is optimistic that ICA's medium-term plan and its differentiated strategy will cater to the varying needs of each country and address the shortfalls that hinder growth in the agriculture sector.
I am a little bit concerned about some issues like vulnerability and the necessity to put in motion a more resilient agriculture. Also promoting more added value. A third issue is including young agriculture in the whole process of transforming agriculture. All of this is going to be announced in a strategy for the Eastern Caribbean state to be launched probably in the next weeks. And for doing that, I have already signed an agreement with the OECS Secretariat very recently.
On Monday, the delegation paid a courtesy call to Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. ICA's Special Advisor Arlington Chesney says discussions with Dr. Mitchell were fruitful and Grenada will soon reap more benefit from the Institute's support.
Youth in agriculture, capacity building, and assistance in rolling out the Sustainable Development Plan were also discussed, and the Director General has agreed that ICA will support in those areas in addition to the abattoir and the climate change that we had discussed. In another few days, Mr. Charles and Mr. Lewis of the Ministry of Agriculture will meet to document the agreements arrived at the two meetings so that we both have a clear indication as to where we go, how we go, and what time frame we go with it.
John King, ICA's representative to the Eastern Caribbean states, says the 2018 to 2022 medium-term plan was driven by the demands and discussions held in all member countries.
The medium-term plan was just finalized, and what the Director General said, that we now in the process of implementing our medium-term plan. I want also to emphasize that the medium-term plan is based on the inputs from all the countries. We had meetings with all the stakeholders to prepare this medium-term plan. It was a participatory process to come to the medium-term plan, to prepare this medium-term plan. So in essence, when we're talking about ICA's support to the countries, it is demand-driven, based on the request, what the countries put on the table that they expect from ICA.
Minister for Culture and the Arts, Senator Nolan Cox, says he plans to convene discussions with the three pillars of Spice Mass, Steel Bun, Mass and Calypso in the very near future with the intention of putting out an even better product next year. The plan is to have the meeting during or before the end of September. Senator Cox says their input will help with regard to policy direction.
When we prepare those policy directives, that will instruct the Spice Mass board as to how to move forward in terms of actions, what they will need to implement going forward. So we'll be getting a report from the board, of course, and what are the findings in terms of Spice Mass, and that in itself will be coupled with what I myself or my ministry would have observed. So this is just only one part of it.
The SMC will host a prize-giving ceremony on Wednesday at 5 p.m. at the National Cricket Stadium, where more than $1 million in prizes will be distributed. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.